when needles slip through hand-dyed fabric and strange and wonderful designs materialize. Wherever Ada and linen mingle with colorful cottons and shimmering silky flosses, that is the time when stitchers are present, practicing their craft with fiendish delight. Welcome, Stitchy friends. My name is Tracy, and I am OG Stitchery here on YouTube and on Instagram. I would like to say thank you so much to my returning viewers and subscribers. I appreciate you, and I am thrilled to announce that I reached 100 subscribers last night. I couldn't wait to get in front of the camera today to say thank you very, very much. So please stay tuned to the end for something special. And with that said, I am under 1,000 subscribers, so I'm part of this club. We use the hashtag under 1,000 subs club. And I would like to give a mention to a couple of other Flosstubers who are in that group. The first one is Amy's Haven Designs. She resides in the UK, and her last Flosstube was filmed somewhere in the Carolinas, I think North Carolina, I believe, but I'm not sure. She was visiting family here, and she has a lot of haul, and it was so much fun watching her go through that, because there's a lot of things obviously that stitchers in the UK aren't able to acquire easily, as easily as we can here in the States. So it was a lot of fun to watch her. She's very easy to watch. She has a very soft demeanor, and she has just a hint of a UK accent, and it's really fun. It's really nice and pleasing to watch her. So please give her a chance. I will put her information down below in the description box. Again, it's Amy's Haven Designs. Another one that I would like to mention is Chantelle. She is Chantelle Deimling, I think, from 141 Design Company here on YouTube, also on Instagram. And she's a fairly new Flosstuber. I think she just came out with episode number 4. And she, in episode 3, I think, she gave a video, or she did a video of her traveling organization, of how she travels with stitching. And I have to say, she is one organized person. I could only hope to achieve. There's no way. She's just fantastic, and she's really fun to watch. She does a lot of the stitching with the housewives patterns, but she's also a great finisher. She and her husband have a woodworking company, and I believe an Etsy store as well. So she incorporates a lot of her woodworking into her finishing designs, and she does frames where you can paint. You paint it yourself, so it's a natural wood finish, and so it's great. So yeah, so check her out. Again, I'll put the link below, and give her a subscription and a thumbs up. The next one I would like to mention is DM's Crafty Vortex, and that stands for DawnMarie. She is a Flosstuber who I actually got to meet in person a couple of weeks ago at my local needlework shop, and she came down for the day to stitch with us, and it was so fantastic to meet her. I have been watching her for a while, and so I knew exactly who she was as soon as I walked in the door, and I was thrilled to meet her. So, and she is a great person. She does a lot of Halloween projects, which of course is right up my alley, and she just started a Heaven and Earth design. So she has a lot of questions, so if you are a full coverage person, please go check her out, and hopefully you can help her with any other questions that she has. The next section is going to be my acquisitions of the week. The first one is going to be my fabric of the month. Came in from Rowe Stitching. And this fabric is from Atomic Ranch Fabrics. Hopefully you can see that. And as soon as I opened the package, I saw I was going to love this. This is called Pumpkin King. I get 18 counts. And yes, I am here for this all day long. Look at this. So wonderful. It's orange, it's black, it's hand-dyed. I need to stitch on this right away. It's great. I love this. I can't wait to find a pattern to work on this. The next is a Fat Quarter Shop acquisition. I use these stitching journals. I have finally come up with a better way to organize my stitches or my projects. I actually changed the number in there to reflect my numerical sequence. But these are fantastic. I use these now on a daily basis. So the next one is some fabric that I purchased. I purchased this from Chateau So-and-So. They are in a little fabric shop in New Orleans, Louisiana. The reason why I chose this particular company is I was going through Instagram, as we all do, or most of us do, and I noticed that Colleen, the Rebel Stitcher, posted a picture of little baby figurines in Mardi Gras colors, in the gold, purple, and green. And I instantly said, oh my goodness, that would be so fantastic as part of a finish for my piece. Reflections of New Orleans by Ink Circles. And she did the same pattern because her wife is from New Orleans, so she wanted to celebrate that New Orleans heritage. And she did this. Clearly it was different. This is mine. But this is my piece, and I wanted some fabric to reflect New Orleans, and she said that was a great company to deal with because she had purchased some fabric from there as well, and they are fantastic. So I came, the website is great, so I went to the website and I came up with this idea. Hopefully you can see the design. And I thought this would look great up against this. And I have some other ideas. I'm going to incorporate the Mardi Gras colors and then maybe some feathers and beads and stuff. Also, those little babies, Colleen said that she would send me 3 of them. I'm so excited. So, what do you think about that? Now, as we all know, cross-stitch accoutrement cannot travel alone, so I went ahead and picked up some more fabric. And some more fabric. Okay, that's it. So I got a little witch's hat in, I would probably say primitive colors, you know, neutrals and stuff, and then the orange. Yes, thank you. Now these are, I just realized, are part of a collection called Spooky and Sweeter. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. But it's a Spooky and Sweeter collection on their website. Again, it's Chateau So-and-So. I will definitely put the link below. But there you go. So I am really excited to get this finished on. And this piece is going to my mom, by the way. She claimed it when she saw it. So those were my acquisitions, and that brings us to the whips section for the week. Jessie Marie Does Stuff came up with the idea of listing all of her whips into a bingo board and then calling numbers and pulling those whips out and working on them for the week, for the month. She created a goal for each whip, and that was her way of getting through her whips and working on them throughout the year. The great thing about WIPGO is that you create the board, you create the goal. There are no rules, there are no guidelines. It's purely up to you, and the only thing that you need to do is participate. So you don't necessarily have to have whips. You can have a new start. You can have a fully finish as a goal if you want. It doesn't necessarily, it's just called WIPGO because her idea was to get through her whips, to work on them for the year. But when I started out at the beginning of the year, I didn't have that many whips. I do now, but I didn't then. So what I did was I plugged in some, like a new start for a month, and then I plugged in something like a fully finish, as I mentioned, and it's been going great. So my first whip of the week was a WIPGO goal for August. It is Something Wicked, and it was found last year in the Just Cross Stitch magazine Halloween edition, and it's called Something Wicked. It's by Kathleen Burlew, and it is fantastic, and I love it. I will show you what it looked like before, because I do believe that I showed it in my whip parade. And here's where I got. So my goal for the month was to work on this for 3 days. I met that goal and exceeded it. I worked on this for 5 days. I couldn't put it down. I still don't want to put it down. I just love touching it. I love the fabric. It's, I think I told you, it's 18 count white Aida using DMC colors, and the color just pops. It's just so great. I love this. And I can't stop touching it. But it's great. I love it. And I can't get to I can't wait to pull this out again and work on it more, because I would love to finish it. So there's that. I'm going to put this down. Sorry. My second whip of the week is Shadow Moon by Hands On Design. I didn't do a lot of this, but here's what it looked like before. I'm doing this on 14 count mint Aida that I coffee tea dyed, and here's what it looks like now. As you can tell, I just did more stitching on this, and the final whip of the week a little bit more is actually a new start. And this was a lot of fun. This is hands-on design, from 18 count pack to 14 count. If pumpkins could huge fly. And it's so easy. So I will be working on this again soon. And the final whip of the week is a new start, actually. It's by Hands On Design, and it's If Pumpkins Could Fly. There's a little bit of a story behind this. Last Thursday, I was watching Flosstube. Shocking, I know. And I was watching Candace K. She's a Flosstuber who is not in the under 1,000 subs club. Good for her. And but I will still put the information down below. Anyway, she mentioned that another Flosstuber had contacted her. That other Flosstuber is Krystal Rowe. I will put her information down below as well. She is in the under 1,000 subs club, so make sure you go check her out. Krystal contacted Candace and asked if she wanted to do a stitch along on this pattern, and Candace said of course, and she wanted to start on it on Monday, and Krystal said no problem. Well, this was last Thursday, so I actually got up the courage and I messaged Candace and saying that I just purchased this for my birthday. Can I join along? And she said absolutely no problem. So I am doing a sal with Candace K and Krystal Rowe. I can't believe it. It's a new start. I started it on Monday. And I am doing this on 18 count Mad Hatter by Ship's Manor. It was a Fabric of the Month Club by Rogue Stitching. And here's how I got. And here's my progress. I am loving this so much. The colors are fantastic. I am using DMC. It does call for Weeks Dye Works, I believe. Yes, it's all Weeks Dye Works. But I'm doing the DMC conversion. And I just love, love, love this. I am going to be putting it down so I can work on some other things. But I hate to put it down. It's just so much fun. And I do want to say something else about this. Well, it happened to me. I had filmed the whole thing and I go and download it, and the last half completely gone. So anyway, where was I? I was going to say something a little extra about this pattern, this chart. I had a moment when I was stitching this. So I started in the middle and I went over and then I went down and then I went all the way down to the bottom and then I started coming over and I stitched this. So this was the first pumpkin that I stitched. And I had a moment where I finished and I stopped and I looked at it. And I realized that I stitched it. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, so you stitched it, sure. But I realized that I stitched this. It wasn't perfect, but in my mind it was. And it was a moment where I looked at this and I said, this is fantastic. This is great. This is wonderful. I stitched this with my own hands and it touched my soul. This piece will always hold a special spot in my heart now because of that. It might be weird, so take it or leave it. It was just a moment in time where I looked at this pumpkin and thought, I stitched this. I created this. I came up with the idea of putting this chart on purple fabric. I decided to use DMC floss and I stitched this. And I am so proud of myself for doing this. So that's all I wanted to share with you with that. And with that being the last WIP of the week, I'm going to move on to my next section of finishes. This past week I went to Michael's to purchase a few things. They had their Halloween section out, so I decided to grab a few little decorations. I have been wanting to finish this particular project for a while now, and I had a particular idea in mind. I wanted some kind of vine going across, so I came up with this. This is my fully finished object for this week. This is Little Urn of Horrors by Lindy Stitchy. It was a complimentary stitch or pattern that she offered, I believe, in her newsletter. It is still available. It might be on her website, I believe. But this is what I came up with. I think it turned out great. It is in a 8x10 photo frame that you can sit on the shelf or sit on a table or something like that. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it that way or if I'm going to actually put a hanger system on there and hang it on the wall. But I like it. I really like it. So there you go. There's my finish. And that brings us to the 100 subscribers. Yay! Oh, as I mentioned, I reached 100 subscribers last night, and I am so happy. I decided that I knew that I was getting close last week, so I came up with the idea of dyeing some fabric. I decided also, actually my husband decided that I should give you a choice. So I dyed 3 pieces of fabric. They are all 18 count Aida. Sorry, put this away. My husband came up with the idea of letting the winner decide which fabric they wanted. So I thought that was a great idea. I decided to dye 3 separate pieces. These are all 18 count Aida, and the size is 18 by 27. And this is number 1. So what I'd like to do is offer this as a thank you for reaching 100 subscribers. So here's the first piece. I think it turned out great. Hopefully you'll be able to see this pretty good. So I am calling this Wanted. The reason behind that name is I was trying to dye this for a piece that I wanted to use for my dead outlaw. It didn't come out as dark as I wanted to. I am thinking that maybe I will try again and coffee tea dye this as well, and maybe try and make it look a little bit more old parchment. But anyway, there's that choice. This is number 1. Here is number 2. And there we go. I think it turned out really nice. There's some reds in there, some really dark purples. So if you like this one, you're going to choose number 2. And then here's the third option. As you can see, these are not serged. I am not a sewer. I don't know how to do that. But I will be cutting the little stragglers off. I call this, the purple one I call is Purple Passion. You can keep the name or whatever, doesn't matter. I call this Dusk. So there's some oranges, some reds, some pinks. It's really nice. I was thinking of a dusk, twilight, sunset kind of thing. And so, what I would like for you to do in order to receive one of these, I'm only giving away one. There's going to be one winner. So I would like for you to be 18 years of age so I can legally ask you for your address. I would like you to use the word tow, T-O-W. The reason being is when I filmed this previously, there was a tow truck that was driving by and it just popped into my head. So I'm going to stick with it. So use the word tow, T-O-W. And then once I will pick the winners in a week. I will pick the winners next Wednesday before I film. I'll go over that next time. I'll email you, let you know that you won, and we'll figure out which one you want. So this is option number 1, option number 2, option number 3. And again, this is just to say thank you so much for being a subscriber and for me reaching 100 subscribers. So that brings us to plans. I've been watching a few Flosstubers that have mentioned something that's going on next month called Sampler September. I believe it's a hashtag, Sampler September. I personally don't tend to stitch samplers because I don't like all of the letters. I do like to watch others stitch them. I think they're beautiful. So I wasn't going to participate in that one. However, I came across a Halloween sampler that just might, I think, will tip the scales in favor of me participating. This is found in this year's edition of the Halloween issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine, and this is Spooktacular Sampler. I really like it, and I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to start in September, probably not on the 1st, maybe on the 2nd. I think the 1st of September is going to be a bit of a stressful day, maybe. I'm anticipating a stressful day. But I really like this, and I think I'm going to do this. I'm not going to stitch the letters. I'm going to stitch the row of pumpkins and then start here and then go down. So hopefully you can see this. This is called Spooktacular Sampler. It's designed by Deborah Fasano of Historic Handworks. And I will be using the DMC on 18 count something. And so there we go. Those are my plans. As well as I might be bringing out a couple of other whips. The Take Me to the Sea by Doreen Jones. My husband keeps asking me about that, so I should probably start working on that. I'm going to try my hand again at some more finishes this week. We'll see. I have a stitchy group coming up this Saturday, and so I'm going to be meeting up with some friends, stitchy friends, so that's going to be exciting. So hopefully we will get this recorded and uploaded and get this edited so you can see this and watch and comment and subscribe and like and all the things. So I think I'm going to end, and until next time, I'll see you real soon.